What stopped you from seeking help? You knew something was wrong. What stopped you? Tell us the truth.
Seth and Tatiana Welch are a couple from Solon Township, Kent County, Michigan, who had 3 children, including Mary Ann, with the first child setting Child Protective Services radar off for a couple of years after a significant amount of THC had been found in their system. Despite that, none of the children had ever been to doctors, as Seth claimed that going to a doctor was as dangerous as not going to one. His mistrust in the medical world is yet another step in the couple's excessive religious beliefs, which were used by them to justify child neglect and abuse. Seth and Tatiana often remarked their children as being needy, lazy slugs, or leeches, taking away resources, and would thus withhold food and other basic necessities. Despite countless reports from relatives and friends, nothing was ever done to make a change in their behavior towards their children. Their actions, or rather inactions, eventually led to the death of their child, Mary, on August 2nd, 2018. Mary was found severely malnourished, with sunken eyes, bruises, and bed sores on her body. The parents, to everyone's dismay, called a lawyer first, and an hour later, the police. When officers arrived, they found the children covered in dirt and feces. The house was swarming with vermin insects and had mold throughout. Seth and Tatiana presented themselves as grieving parents and were placed in separate rooms for interrogation. Tatiana is interrogated first and breaks down seconds into the interrogation. This doesn't ring well with the detective, as the parents were very much capable of providing basic care to their children. What follows next is one of the most despicable and horrifying cases I've ever seen.
After seeing there, I was told that verbal. Is that true that he doesn't, or he's very verbal?
He's very verbal.
Oh, I don't know. Someone, and you know how it gets mixed, you whisper in one person's ear and as it goes down the chain. Maybe he was just being shy. So
he tends to get shy. But
yeah, he did some high-fiving for me, but...
he knows lots of words. He's just, sometimes Big Sister can be a little dominating. So
maybe that's what it is.
Him, but,
and probably all the commotion probably really made him shy. And didn't,
yeah,
I didn't want to... So maybe they were just saying he was nonverbal right now. Maybe that's what it was. Medical issues or nothing like that? Okay.
Tatiana claims that none of her children had any medical condition whatsoever, despite the fact that her children had never been to a doctor.
Is she in any kind of daycare? Does she go to preschool?
No, I homeschool. I have my degree in early childhood education.
Okay.
So
good for you.
Thought I just, from being at home at the farm, I can at least give them an initial education before we decide for them off to grade school.
Absolutely. So,
absolutely, yes.
Okay. Like, and what kind of stuff?
She is fluent in her alphabet. Her numbers at least up to 20.
Wow.
Although she knows other numbers like 100, 60, but not
okay.
She's practicing her writing. She just has a little issue with the numbers. They get a little backwards. But,
okay.
She knows how to spell words like hi, cat, dog. She knows the list that starts with E.
She can do better than Jason. The hi and the cat and dog part. So does a doctor that she sees, does she have a primary doctor?
Not anymore. We did have it's great and everything. We just we only go if there's an issue, and there just hasn't been.
Obviously, it was probably the last visit is when he recommended the helmet, the head shaping. But so there was never any concern about the shape of her head from 0 to 18 months?
No, that's why it was such a concern for us as to why he would just bring this up out of nowhere. And
so what was the problem with the shape of her head according to him?
He said it was off. It was just not circular. And I mean, I wasn't offended. I was just taken aback. And then my Seth found out that it's commission-based with these products that they try and push. So we don't know specifically. This is hearsay.
Right, sure.
But we think that
we'll accept it.
Trying to push the helmet. It was a $3,000 helmet for that called CPS and said that we were being neglectful or something or other.
Tatiana claims her children would only see a doctor if the need arises, despite considering the fact that that her other children had been found malnourished. She also claims that the medical issue one of her children faced was just a farce made up by a doctor trying to earn a commission. Tatiana may think she's portraying herself as a smart and compassionate mother, but it is entirely the opposite. Her statements only add up to show how extreme neglect is a pattern in their household.
Have you noticed a decline in poopy diapers?
No. No, not at all. So this is such a surprise to me. I mean, this morning, when I got her up, she had spit up, and I just...
So yesterday morning, when you got her up at 7, she had spit up?
No, this morning.
Oh, this morning.
At 9, when I got her up, when I tried to get her up.
Yeah.
I thought maybe she choked on her spit. That's why.
What color was her spit up?
It was foamy and brown. So I thought maybe it was the oatmeal and the fruit mixed in there.
So where was the spit up at?
The side of her mouth. The side of her face.
And was that, did you think, I don't know, was it food? Was it blood?
No, it wasn't.
It was not blood.
No,
She didn't have any kind of vomiting of blood or anything like that?
No, never.
Okay.
We would take it to her doctor.
Oh, sure.
That
Yeah.
never happened.
So you were certain it was food?
Yes, that's what.
And it was on the side, it was on what side of her face?
Her right side.
Her right side, okay. And then that's when you noticed that she was unresponsive. Was
Yeah.
this morning when you saw that? And what happened next?
Excuse me. Her eyes were open.
Did anything else look strange other than obviously the spit up and that her eyes were open? Or other than that, did she look as usual?
She's just cold.
Okay.
So I went in to get set. It's an emergency, and he's like, and I was just so shocked, and he reminded me I knew CPR, and he told me to start. So I took her from the bed and I put her on her changing table, and I started CPR, and I did the 2-finger touch on the chest. If you use your whole hand, you could break ribs, and I just didn't want to do that, for sure.
I know this is tough.
So I did a 2-finger touch on her chest and her back, and I wiped her mouth, and I did.
So you did this on the kitchen table?
No, the changing table.
On the changing table in the bedroom.
Yes.
So you said you did it on her mouth and then you wiped her mouth.
I wiped her mouth first because it was the spit up. And now that I think about it, I think it was banana and oatmeal. You know when banana's been sitting out and it's very ripe?
Oh, yeah.
It gets that like brownish color.
Yeah.
But ripe banana's very sweet, and that she eats the oatmeal better with it.
So what did you wipe her mouth with?
A baby wipe, a lavender scented baby wipe.
Okay. And then you did what with that?
I threw it in the garbage.
Okay.
Well, not immediately. No, I just wiped her and put it to the side,
Just wiped her into it now. Yeah.
right next on the changing table.
And then you picked her up out of the bed.
Yes, and then I put her on the changing table, and then when I was pumping her chest, there was like bubbles, bubbles coming out of her mouth. So I thought maybe that's why I thought she choked, and then maybe if I kept pumping, like it would, like maybe it would come out, and then she'd like cough and wake up. Because I just kept wiping the bubbles, and I was giving her air and giving her pumping with my fingers, just my 2 fingers. Maybe I should have done more.
Nope, you were doing it right.
And she was still so cold, and I think maybe 10 minutes, it's so hard to gauge time.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And it's not listening the whole time, and he just asked me, is she dead? Is she gone? While he's crying, just asking me, is she gone? And it's just so hard to say yes, and I just said yes. She's just unresponsive. And then we had no idea what to do then at all. Like, what do we do? And so he called his parents, or he called his dad first, excuse me, and his dad said, okay, your mom and I are on our way. Call the police. Let them know what happened, and we'll try and get there before they do. And then we just spent the entire time on the couch waiting. crying. We did sleep. It was just my mother-in-law doesn't.
Throughout the interrogation, Tatiana inserts false lies to make her look like an ideal parent. Lies that are quickly caught onto by the detective, including how Tatiana would leave milk for her daughter while she went to work and how often she would feed her daughter. Not only that, Tatiana also lies about immediately calling the police, as the detectives know for a fact that the police were called 3 hours after Mary's body was found, after the Welches shockingly had consulted a lawyer first.
We're all parents in this room, okay? And we all need to be honest. Remember in the car when I first talked with you and I told you that at the end of the day, we all need to know exactly. Right? Okay. So we need to tell her story. Okay? And I want you to think about this for a minute. I want you to think for a second and put yourself in our shoes. You're the police officer. You're the police detective. You get called out to that home today. You get called to my home or his home today. Okay? You, the police officer. And then you have to go into that house and you have to look at that precious little angel. Okay? Do you think she was healthy, honestly?
When you look at her size, and you can see every single bone in her body, do you think she was healthy?
We know this isn't easy, Tatiana, but we need to know what happened to her. What was going on?
So when did she start losing all that weight?
The past 2 days.
But she's lost so much weight that you can't lose that much in 2 days. I've never seen a child that skinny. Never. And here's the thing. You're obviously a very concerned mom, but at what point did you know, what point did you think something was wrong?
The detective is trying to play through Tatiana's emotional side by telling her she's a concerned mother, which in turn would make her more comfortable and open up to the police.
When's the last time that you actually inspected her, that you looked at her? Tell me the truth.
Every time when I change her, and I think I just may have been just so blinded, and
What were you blinded by? Because I know, listen, you are an intelligent, articulate, college-educated, early childhood development. You know when you look at someone that something's wrong. I have a picture of her right here. I'm prepared to show you. That tells you no medical treatment. As dumb as I am, I'm not near as intelligent as you. I can't speak the words you can speak. I am not you. And even I can look at this photo and I can say, whoa, something's wrong. It put tears in our eyes when we walked in there. It was that obvious.
Tatiana, I'm going to be quite honest with you right now, okay? One parent to another, right? And I'm going to try and control my emotions, all right? I've been to a child death investigator school, and I've seen photos and images of children that have been malnourished. And I'm telling you right now, this is the worst thing I've ever seen.
Oh no, really?
Yes.
Oh.
You're going to say, you know what, this is baggage, this is something that, but all I want to know is what stopped you from seeking help? You knew something was wrong. What stopped you? Tell us the truth.
I mean, are you guys that financially strapped? I mean, what is it? Do you not believe in healthcare? Do you have religious beliefs? I mean, what is it?
We do have religious beliefs, and we were praying about it, and we have faith that.
When did you start praying about it?
After the officer brings it up, Tatiana brings up religion as an excuse as to why they'd refuse to go to a doctor.
I think within the month it started to become a bit up and down. Her cheeks would be full and bright, and then a couple days later she would look ill or hungry, and then we're not hungry, just her cheeks wouldn't be as full as they were.
Shrunken in.
Yeah, and then
So when did you notice that she had other bones showing?
about a month.
About a month ago.
Let me ask you this. When was the last time you bathed her?
Maybe 2 weeks ago.
So about a month ago, you noticed that her bones are all showing, right? And so, is that when you started heavily praying?
No, it was the past few days, because about a month ago it would be like full, and then 2 days later it would be shrunken in, but then within the day it'd be full again. But then the past few days it wouldn't fill up as quickly as it did.
But listen, here's what I'm saying, Mary. Listen, I get that, but her legs were as small as my pointer finger. So that didn't happen in 3 days.
No.
And I know that you know that, and I know that you wanted to get her help, but I'm trying to just figure out, when did this happen? I understand that maybe you started seeing some kind of symptoms a month ago, but when did she consistently lose all of this weight? When did she consistently become skin and bones?
I think it was within the month.
So
She was always just so thin, and
so within a month. So then why, when we had a month to look at her like this, why didn't we get help?
we thought she'd get better without getting help.
How did you think she was going to get better?
By feeding her and being with her.
Was she really truly eating the way that you were telling us?
Yes,
Because if you want, he has a photo of her, and if you want to see it, I mean, I'm pretty sure that I explained this to both you and Seth when you were in my car with me. There's going to be an autopsy done, okay? And there was a person from the medical examiner's office at the house, okay?
So we're gonna know all this, what we're saying.
Yeah.
And you're not a bad person. We get all this, and we get that there's a dynamic here that we're trying to figure out. There is a dynamic here. I'm gonna tell you, I know it. I know there's a dynamic, and I feel that you wanted to get her help. I'm trying to just figure out why you didn't. What's the dynamic? What am I missing? Because you can't tell me that this Brooklyn, New York, this New York City College educated Grand Rapids Community College early childhood person didn't know that this girl needed help, but something stopped her.
The detective doesn't believe that Tatiana's husband Seth really had a part in stopping Tatiana from feeding her daughter. He then pushes her to change her false story, inching closer to the truth behind what actually happened.
If Seth told you that God told him to sacrifice one of your children, would you do it?
No.
That's what I'm saying, though. That's what I'm trying to wrap my head around. How many conversations did you have with Seth about this?
Not very many. Maybe 2 at most, just because we didn't want to worry about it. We trusted God then.
Would he get angry talking about it?
No, I think he'd be very sure.
What would happen? How would he react if you took her to the doctor anyway?
Not sure if something like that has never happened.
I'm just asking you to speculate.
I think he would just be concerned that CPS would be called, but not angry. Just say, okay, just know that you took to the doctor. Expect CPS to come to the house.
He's not an angry type person.
No.
How is he as far as emotional goes?
He's not afraid to cry.
Does he cry a lot? Would you say that he wears his emotions on his sleeve?
I suppose. I mean, when we were going through our marriage, the beginning of it, and he was very expressive about about his feelings and how he would like to be treated, and how I wasn't, treating him well, and then in return told me he realized that he wasn't being a respectful husband and wasn't treating me well. normal either. So he's very intuitive and expressive, which is rare, I suppose.
The detective then confronts Tatiana as to why the police weren't called as soon as they had found Mary dead.
I'm sorry I don't have the answer for you. I was just so... never could imagine that could happen.
Jason and I have been doing this a long time, and I understand, and I've seen it time and time again, everybody deals with stress and reacts to things differently. But if there's one thing that I've seen in the course of doing this job for a long time is there's usually never a hesitation to pick up the phone and call 911. That is a pretty ingrained, rapid, basic, life-saving response that is ingrained in everybody, especially in our country because of our emergency medical system that we have.
When did you first teach your kids about 911? When did you first teach your children about 911?
Less than a year ago.
Okay. So when you're doing CPR, you don't scream to Seth, call 911.
No, and I know that that's like the second step, or the first step actually. What?
Did you think by calling 911 that he would think your faith was less?
No, not at all actually.
Okay.
He called his dad first. Wiping the spit up from her face, and then he went to contact his parents. I don't know how long that took. I was just, after she wasn't responding, I was just sitting there rocking her. I don't know for how long. I have no idea for how long. And then after he got off the phone with his dad said, okay, wait until we are close. And then call the police so we can get there at the same time they do. So we can help with anything, I suppose, legally.
So, the 2+ hours of time that went by from discovery till 911, all I know, and I'm just asking if you can think of anything else, all I know of is 10 minutes of CPR and sitting on the couch and sweeping the house. Is there any other activity that occurred? Again, some of the stuff is just so weird, we're just trying to make sense of it.
I understand. If I were in your position, I wouldn't understand it either, and I'm having trouble gauging it as well. I spent quite some time just holding her and just rocking her, and then I put her back down on her bed, and I put her blanket on her, and then I just checked on the kids, make sure they were cleaning the room, and then...
Did you put any additional clothing on her when you put her back in the crib?
No, I didn't.
So what was in the crib is exactly what was in there. You didn't change anything.
Oh, I'm sorry. By clothing, I just assumed you meant what she was wearing on her. That was left on her. I covered her up fully, and I added her little head blanket.
What do you mean you covered her fully? With clothing or a
with
blanket?
a gray blanket.
Okay.
Was that blanket in the crib prior or not?
Yes, up to her knees. I wrap it around her knees down to her feet just so that she knows her hands over the head pulling. She's never done that before anyway.
And what about this thing that you were talking about, the head pillow or whatever? Where was that
It
at?
was just a comfy blanket. It was on the side on the rocking chair. I just touched.
So that's the only thing that wasn't in the crib? Was that one?
Yeah. And she had her polar bear in there, but it was by her feet.
After finishing up with Tatiana, the detectives move to the room where Seth is in. Seth appears cold and standoffish, and this may be because he was left waiting for the entirety of the time the detective spoke to his wife. After being read his rights, the detectives ask Seth about the time and incidents that took place when their first child was born.
Why I'm very anti-medical industry is because of what happened with her birth. She coughed one time. So they said that they had to keep her under observation for 72 hours to make sure she didn't have a breathing problem. She didn't have a breathing problem. She coughed one time to clear some birth fluid out of her lungs.
Right.
And they kept us under observation for 72 hours.
Oh, wow, you're paying for it?
Of course, yeah, the bill was about $15,000. So that was kind of that was kind of a kick in the rear. And then afterwards, we had some problems where I actually had a doctor make a fraudulent CPS claim, and I actually forged paperwork and stuff like that. And I tried to make a complaint about it, but nobody listens.
More of a get-rich scheme, wasn't it? Kind of like, I'm gonna make some money off from a product that someone really doesn't need.
Yes.
And
he issued two separate forms of paperwork. One that had a bunch of notes on it saying all sorts of bad healthcare things we were doing wrong with CPS person, and the copy of the paperwork he gave to us that said she was fine. So that was about my last straw with it.
was that to do with the helmet? And is that so it all started with, if I'm right, it all started with the helmet.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean,
it all started with the cough, but to the helmet.
I'm not a big fan of a lot of the immunization stuff, and so I kind of bulked against that, and they didn't like that either. They even got to the point where they, the first time we changed doctors, they called CPS on us just for changing doctors, because the doctor we were seeing was all the way in Byron Center.
Seth is painting himself out to be a victim of the doctor's cruel techniques to make extra money. Just like Tatiana, all Seth is doing is confirming the patterns of child neglect that he and his wife conformed to. Seth then talks about how he cooked up nutritional food for his kids while his wife was at work. But when asked about why Mary appeared malnourished, Seth has an absurd answer, claiming God makes people in various shapes and sizes.
God didn't make us all, the same. Yeah, exactly. So I kind of chalked it up to that. I was not happy about how skinny she was. That's why if you look in the house, you can see all the baby food. That's potatoes with chicken and cheese, and everything matches up with what I'm saying. I guess she was always very healthy. She was never sick. Okay, that's it. She's sickly and skinny, but she was always just skinny.
But that's where I'm going to disagree with you. Okay, I'm a parent. I'm a father. I have 3 children. Mm-hmm. He's a father. You're a father. Mm-hmm. Okay, and I'm just being honest with you. Okay, because I don't know how to be anything other than. Okay, and I'm telling you right now, I've been doing this job for a long time. Okay, and he'll tell you when I walked in that bedroom today. All right, I started crying. Okay, I looked at that little baby. And I looked at her for a millisecond, and I knew that she wasn't right. And I knew that she wasn't right for some time, okay? And you're her father.
Yes. And I'll tell you, I saw her when she was dead, too. She was much more gaunt when she was dead than she ever was when she was alive. I mean, I got pictures on my phone.
Right, but let me ask you this. When's the last time you saw that baby without any clothes on in a bath?
Me? I've never given her a bath.
Okay, but you changed her diaper maybe a day and a half ago, correct? Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm not putting words in your mouth. You said that, correct? Mm-hmm. How did you not, when you looked at her a day and a half ago changing her diaper, and realize that my daughter is skin and bones? When I looked at her belly in the house, okay, and I'm not exaggerating this.
I know.
I could see the outline of her intestines through her stomach. I could see her spine completely through her back. I could see every one of her ribs through her chest.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, like I said, I'm not happy about it either. You're welcome to go through my garbage and look at the baby food containers. And
here's the thing. I'm certainly not knocking on his faith. I have the same faith and the same creator that you have. Does your faith prevent you from allowing you to use medical services?
No.
Seeing him respond in the way he does with that demeanor, as if it's nothing we are talking about here, is absolutely enraging, and at times detectives look that way too, controlling their urges against this man. The detectives then ask Seth if he feels responsible for what happened to Mary, and his answer is quite intriguing.
I feel like it's a bit of a trap question, but
No,
or do you just stay honest?
Or do you think it's just God's will?
Well, just because it might be God's will doesn't mean that there's not that it's not His will according to our actions, or it doesn't mean that we're not responsible in some way for what has come about. And so, I take responsibility on myself for anything that goes wrong in my life at all, even if it's totally not my fault. What could I have done?
Deep down, we all know Seth doesn't really feel responsible for his child's death, as he so claims. Seth and Tatiana are then allowed to meet, but their conversation, which should have been about their dead daughter, is instead about the stressful interrogation they'd just been through.
Just kept reading with that and we didn't let me answer.
So you saw what?
To call the police after finding out.
I told you like 6 times. I was waiting for the lawyer to be there because we knew that this would happen.
So I told them we were waiting for her. I could see your parents, but I said lawyers. And they were just, then what'd you do while you were waiting? I called off work. We slept, and I sat and cried.
Then listen to this, baby. Their job is to fill cells. It's their job. So they can fill 2 cells right now. And that's...
Maybe they were angry. Like it sounded like they were trying. I don't know, this is movie like, but like separate us.
Of course, that's what they're doing. Trying to drive a wedge in between and then hope somebody accuses the other one. That's why they came at you first. Because they own them. They can tell by looking at me.
Yeah.
They're gonna do shit to me. So if I'm gonna do a breakdown and accuse you me is who they're looking for.
What's gonna happen?
We go home and we get really baked and I really like to not talk about it at all anymore today.
Okay.
It's so terrible. Can't ever do this again. We at least gotta take her. There's problems. We gotta take him to the doctor at least to see.
Okay.
I think they must have heard me on the phone. Because I told my mom at 7:30, I'm getting up out of here. Getting us out of here. And that's exactly when they came through the door to come talk to us.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like, I'll wait till 7:30, but we're not under arrest. I'm not being charged. I'm here under my own compulsion. You know, I'm free to go. So.
Your parents are still dead?
No, they went home. They had to go meet with a CPS worker in Grand Haven.
Oh, wow. But the kids are with them?
Yeah. Now I was just about to walk out of there when he said, "Hey, come on down here." So I was gonna be like, "Oh, he said 5 minutes. It's gonna be another 2 hours." You know, he had me put my phone outside the door.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I went out. I got it. I don't let you just hold me in here indefinitely, with my permission, while leaving me communication with.
I saw the papers in the bottle cap and the lighter was out there. They told me to rid of the mess last time in the bathroom. And it was like 20-30 minutes. I really had to go. So I just opened the door and I went to that.
They're trying to make you seem a lot more like a prisoner than you really are. Right now, you're here under your own compulsion, and I'm not your own. Yeah, there's really not much they can do if we wanted to walk out right now. We're doing this as a show. But not even for them, but for probably when we have to go up in front of a judge. Is all they want. They want to charge gotta be money involved.
Laughing about the questions they were asked, Seth and Tatiana show clear signs of narcissism as they could care less about Mary. Seth and Tatiana are eventually charged with the murder of their child, Mary Welch. Despite the hours-long interrogation, during the sentencing, Seth's mouth drops wide open in unbelievable shock, and his wife Tatiana breaks down after they're told that they're found guilty.
While in the perpetration or attempted perpetration of child abuse in the first degree, they're alleging that you murdered one Mary Welch. That is a charge called homicide felony murder. It is life without parole. It requires a DNA sample to be taken upon arrest, which is often like a cotton swab or in the inside of your cheek. The second offense that you're both charged with is called child abuse in the first degree, where they're alleging you knowingly or intentionally caused serious physical harm to a child. They're talking about this Mary Welch. It is a felony, possible penalty of up to life imprisonment or any term of years less than life.
Seth and Tatiana Welch were sentenced to life in prison without parole for the first-degree felony murder of their daughter Mary Welch. Despite all that, Seth's stance on doctors and his inactions, which caused Mary's death, still doesn't appear to have changed.
I believe we were chosen to go through this trial because God has prepared me to be a strong voice for Him. Whether I am to be vindicated and set free, and the courts can see that this was truly just, I don't think it's unexplainable, sir. I think that the autopsy was lazily done. I believe that they found the cause of death, and they stopped there. But as we know, I believe something caused her body to shut down that way. And I will say also that I had a farm animal, a goat, just a couple days before, who died of the exact same way. He had food, he had water. I even watched him eat, and he still just wasted away before my eyes.
So even given what you know now, you don't wish that you had been taking her for regular treatment from a pediatrician?
Well, here's the thing, sir. I just don't... like I said, it seems to me, from what I see, not only from what I see with my own two eyes going on among the people of this nation, but also the statistics that are out there that you can find that aren't readily published on the news or talked about in mainstream education, but you can find them if you look. I mean, it's dangerous to take your kid to the doctor's office these days. It is. It just plain is. And, you know, if you don't do what they say, if you don't buy what they want you to buy so that they can make some money off you, for the love of money is the root of all kinds of evils, they'll call the government on you. I had it happen, sir.
And as you would expect, evil people who do the opposite a parent should do don't stop here.
All right, Ashley. You're under arrest for battery of a minor. And possession of trouble.
On August 22, 2023, Stillwater Police Department had a very distraught parent storm into the station and told officers that he had found disturbing videos and images of his 3-year-old daughter. Following the report, officers arrived at 19-year-old Ashley Cheatham's house and immediately placed her under arrest.
Hello. Okay. You Ashley? What's your last name? Okay. We'll get pants for you.
Where is he?
Ashley, do you have any
Ashley's boyfriend had told the police he had met her online and they had just moved in together with his 3-year-old daughter. Ashley answered the door without any pants on, and the officers rummaged around the house to find her a pair of pants to put on.
There's no one in the room.
There you go. Any room? One out. Are they jeans or shorts? Shorts. What color are they? So anywhere particular stop to get through step?
I have no idea. I literally just woke up. I don't
No,
know.
you know, like, where is your place where you normally keep your shorts?
Yeah, there's some right there. There's pajama pants are fine. Do you see them?
Is that right there? Okay, back to you, maybe. You got any form of like slip-on shoe or anything?
Just put them up in the front a little bit. They're like falling down.
Is your ID in your purse? You got that here with you? Yeah. 20 Central.
I can't. Let's say that's why I was here. That's why I came, is in case I need to sit in it.
Then, while being explained why she's being arrested, Ashley breaks down, but don't be tricked into feeling any empathy for this woman, as she's just crying for having been caught.
All right, Ashley. You're under arrest for control battery of a minor. Mm-hmm. And possession of child.
Ashley now faces multiple charges, which include sexual abuse of a child under the age of 12, making and distributing obscene material of children, and possession of marijuana, to name a few. She was ordered to have no contact with the victim. Before the arrest, Ashley had allegedly been interviewing for the position of an elementary school teacher. The father's swift actions not only helped his daughter, but also saved countless others from meeting a similar fate at that elementary school. There's no way to ever trust someone again if they do what this woman did to this man's child. Now imagine it's your own mother who does something terrible to you. Well, that's exactly what happened in our next case. On May 19th, 2018, Delray Beach Police received multiple 911 calls about a woman who was allegedly on a roof with two small children. Officers arrive at the scene and try to calm the woman down, feeling a tragedy might unfold.
Darling!
She's on.
It's okay. Dear. All right. Everybody back up. Everybody back up. Dear. Listen to me. You're not in trouble for anything. Okay. Just get the kids back inside, please. Please, that's all we want you to do. Just get the kids back inside.
How do we get in the house?
They're real. We're gonna help.
Let's get breaching tools. Let's get breaching tools. Here we go.
Eventually, an officer is able to reach the woman and the children and rescue them by climbing through the window. What happens next is absolutely incredible.
It's okay. Please, we're here to help, okay? We're here to help.
Oh, wait. No, wait.
No, it's okay.
No, wait. You're not a real one.
He's a real one.
No. I want to see your badge.
Right here.
I want to see
It's okay. There you go.
your
Yeah, right here. See? One of you guys go inside, open this window up. I'll hand you the kids.
No. I want to see your badge.
Okay, here.
I want to see your badge.
Let me show you. It's okay. Look.
I want to see your badge.
There you go.
Okay, really?
Yeah, real.
No, really. Let me see.
Yeah, right here. Look. See? It says police.
Sergeant?
Yeah.
No, you're not. It doesn't say sergeant. Okay, sergeant. No, who are you? Point blank, body adventure? No, point blank, body adventure! Grab the phone! Grab it!
Hey, sweetie. It's okay. It's okay, kids.
Get the phone!
guys.
No, get the phone. No, he's gonna kill me, Mom.
Open this window. Okay, guys, we're gonna walk with Mike here, okay?
No, he's gonna kill me.
Here, come walk with Mike.
No.
Guys, we're okay. It's okay. Take a step, okay? Guys, we're walking this way. You guys want to see where we're walking to? We're gonna walk to that police officer, okay?
Take the little one. Come here, baby girl. You're okay, you're okay, you're okay, you're okay.
Here, we're gonna.
You're okay, you're okay, you're okay, you're okay.
Here, we're gonna go with this one police officer.
Watch your head, watch your head. Come here, buddy. You alright, buddy? Come here, buddy. You alright, buddy?
It's okay. It's okay.
The woman was taken into custody and was committed to a mental health facility. She faced criminal charges. Meanwhile, DCF took custody of the children. I currently don't have more information about the case. I can just hope these kids are okay and living a good life. But if you thought things couldn't get any worse, that's because you don't know the incredible case of the Brooks family.
So why don't we figure this out now instead of sit here, because we're not leaving.